One thing that the inclusivity conversation leaves out, unfortunately, is things like sobriety. Hello, family. Let's talk about sobriety. I have been not drinking for the last, I think it's been well over 30 days. It's going on 2 months, okay, like fully sober. But before that, I had been on and off sober casually for, I would say, the last 5 months. Something that has come up as I've gone through this journey is just thinking about the ways in which we center alcohol in social environments and situations, and really breaking down the ways that so many community spaces, so many gathering spaces and events are so centered around alcohol consumption. You don't really think about it too much when you're not like purposely being sober. Once you start on the sobriety journey, you're like, whoa, this is kind of crazy. I went out a couple weeks ago in New York with my friend, and I was, staying sober. And it was just so interesting being like out at a club night, sober. Okay, like I have an oral fixation, so I'm like, I need to be consuming something when I'm out, So I got a yerba, which was really cool because it came in a glass bottle, so it was giving like a beer moment. After that, I just got some water or whatever, but I just started thinking, oh wow, I want to get a drink, but I'm being sober, so what drink am I gonna get? Just thinking through like being around all of these people that are drinking, what that looks like, what that means for me, and what decentering alcohol from my social interactions looks like. Because even after that, I was having a conversation with my friend, and I was like, yeah, if I was drinking tequila, I would have been like this, or I would have been like this, or whatever. And it's like, now that I'm not, I'm at the event just vibing and hanging out. I have noticed that in terms of my energy levels, like I be getting sleepy. I'm a sleepy girl, okay? I'm definitely a sleepy girl, and I think not drinking has made me a bit sleepier. So that's kind of another thing that I've had to mitigate as I've gone on this journey, which is funny. Also, as we all know, alcohol is used socially, right? People, lose their inhibitions a bit more, they're a bit more outgoing. So I think some of my struggle, because I do struggle with social anxiety, has been mitigating that as well without the alcohol, of like, how do I talk to people? How do I go up to people? What does this social interaction look like without me honestly having a crutch, which has been really interesting. And I think a big push for growth for me. It really makes you be like, okay, let me figure out other ways to be more social and to be more outgoing and extroverted without having to use a crutch of alcohol. It also just brings up a trend we're seeing a lot now of a lot more spaces that are more diverse. One space that really comes to mind for me, if you're in the LA area or, just Southern California, is Tea at Shiloh. If you do not know, Tea at Shiloh is a late night tea house. It's completely centered around just tea consumption. They have events, like they have just so many different activities. They also open up the space during the day as a workspace. They have like amazing like connection community events at night. And that was one of the first spaces that really wowed me, where I was like, this is an amazing movement to create strong, real community and have events that are not centered around alcohol, and still have some level of consumption, right? You have tea, I think they have like small snacks and stuff like that, but it's really focused on the actual crux of building connections with people sober. And we've seen this trend emerge even more. Obviously, I'm in the New York City scene, so I can really mainly speak to that, but just looking at places like Boyfriend Co-op, which just opened, which is really, really awesome to see. They consider themselves a coffee and cocktail cooperative. So they do offer drinks, but it is a coffee shop during the day, and I believe they have mocktails and non-alcoholic drink and coffee and tea at night as well. So just thinking about the ways in which people are like blending those worlds, but also very much bringing more of that coffee shop centered ethos into the space of like nightlife or community events, which I really love. Another place that I think does this incredibly well is Early Eve's Cafe in Bed-Stuy. Absolutely one of my favorite coffee shops, hands down, and they have events. They throw everything from writing events, collage events. I know they threw like a Valentine making event, book clubs, really amazing, diverse community events that, again, are centered around more of a coffee shop ethos than a like going out drinking, clubbing type of alcohol centered environment. Yeah, I just think it's really cool to see that happening. I was talking to another friend who lives in the like New England area, and she also has been kind of trying to pull back on drinking, and we were just having a conversation about sobriety, and she was like, yeah, it's really crazy because my friend asked me, okay, what are the cool places to go to at night where we can hang out, but it's not alcohol, it's not a bar, it's not like centered around alcohol. And she legitimately could not think of one place. That sucks. If you really think about it, it sucks knowing that for someone who is sober, or just not even like sober in the traditional sense of like having stopped drinking alcohol on purpose, but just someone that doesn't drink that much, or someone that prefers to make connections otherwise. It's sad to think that there are parts of this country potentially where the only thing you can do is go out to the bar, go out to the club, and it's all centered around alcohol. So just something to think about. The places in your area near you that are not alcohol centered, what do those look like? We need more of these spaces. You know, we talk about building community and what community looks like. A part of that conversation is really opening up community events and gatherings to a wider range of people and really being more inclusive. One thing that the inclusivity conversation leaves out, unfortunately, is things like sobriety. Let's think about what that looks like. Just some thoughts for y'all. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have some cute tea house or coffee house places near you that you can tap into. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this. Are you on a sobriety journey? Are you not? How do you feel about alcohol-centered events? And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.